Get the elbow in! Finishing move!
One morning, the agents of Smash indulge in a spirited training session in an old depot, which they've turned into their hideout. While the others lift heavy crates and toss them at each other like they're auditioning for a protein powder commercial, A-Bomb sulks in a corner, wondering why his strength doesn't seem to match up to the others. Red Hulk specifically makes fun of him, putting him in an even worse mood, but She-Hulk cheers him on, stating that he has other unique abilities none of the rest possess. Wrapping him into his ball form, Red Hulk and Scar toss him around like a volleyball. Soon after, they notice a flaming space ball falling towards them at tremendous speed from the sky, so A-Bomb steps in to stop it. While they wonder what it is, the equipment transforms into an alien robot, which immediately starts to attack them. The agents of SMASH are then forced to fight back. While they try to take it down, they notice the robot showing indicators on the impact of each of their attacks. Hulk then realizes that it's accessing their strength, so he takes it down with a massive hit. When the robot gets knocked out, a visual representation of an alien called Xemnu the Titan gets projected from it. Introducing himself to them, Xemnu states that he's the undisputed fighting champion of the galaxy, and has been searching for worthy opponents across different dimensions to find a worthy opponent. He claims to have heard rumors about the agents of Smash, and that's why he sent a scout bot to assess their strength. From the assessment, Xemnu reveals that they've all proven to be worthy opponents, except A-Bomb, who must have joined the team because someone lost a bet. Xemnu challenges the agents to a fight, and while Hulk tries to turn down the challenge, A-Bomb butts in and accepts. Pissed at A-Bomb, the agents head to the Sahara Desert, which had been agreed on as a suitable venue, so as not to drag innocent civilians into their brawl. They are shortly joined by Xemnu, who turns out to be way bigger than they expected. When he arrives, Xemnu reveals the conditions for the battle. If they win, they'd earn his special intergalactic championship belt, but if they lose, well, let's just say humanity is toast. Heading into the ring that magically appears in the middle of nowhere, Xemnu prepares to fight Hulk, She-Hulk, Red Hulk, and Scar. When a bomb asks why he's not up on the list, Xemnu replies that fighting him would literally be child abuse. Upset, he is made to watch from the sidelines while Xemnu battles the real warriors. Firstly on the list is Red Hulk, who charges straight at the Titan to smash him, but gets smacked hard. Realizing he can't win in a power contest, he brings out his Glocks and tries to use them. Seeing the earthly weapons, Xemnu gets serious and knocks Red Hulk out in less than a second. Next, Scar charges in to defeat the Titan but equally gets taken down. She-Hulk, wanting to make a difference, confronts Xemnu and surprisingly manages to land a couple of hits. When she starts to get cocky, Xemnu reveals that although he's not like Chris Breezy who hits women, he would make an exception of her as he tosses her around like an unpaid intern until she's completely helpless. Watching his cousin get jumped, Hulk snaps and charges at Xemnu with some powerful swings. Xemnu also retaliates by fighting back, making the battle worthwhile. After going at it for a while, although Hulk proves to be a worthy opponent, Xemnu overpowers him by smashing him into the ground, knocking him out.
For my finishing move!
The agents are completely shocked to see Hulk knocked out, because they know that on a normal day it'd take at least Goku to own Hulk. Seeing as he has won the battle, Xemnu takes off to begin the world's destruction, as discussed. When Hulk regains consciousness, he and the other agents set out to stop the raging alien. Aboard their jet, they consider requesting backup from a couple of Avengers, but seeing how they've been declared national threats, they conclude that it's too much of a risk to take. A-Bomb, who is the reason they got into the mess in the first place, comes up with a dumber idea and goes into the reactor, exposing himself to direct radiation. By the time the rest of the agents realize it, a bomb has grown 10 times in size. As a result of the power consumed, the ship ends up crashing hard into the wilderness. When they emerge, A-Bomb realizes that he's now way stronger than he could ever imagine, so he then uses his newly found strength to carry the jet for the rest of the journey. When they arrive at the icy mountains where Zemnu is beginning his world destruction, he's quite surprised to see them in good spirits as he remembers humbling them some minutes earlier. A-Bomb, who is now about his size, forces him into an actual fight, and Zemnu realizes just how strong he has gotten. The two then have fun as they go all out against each other. As a result, the mountains around them, where people happen to reside, start to crumble. The rest of the agents are forced to handle the destruction while the Titans continue their fight. Realizing that they can't hold the destruction anymore, the agents ask A-Bomb to try fighting with his camo powers instead. Surprisingly enough, when A-Bomb attempts it, he realizes that he has lost his other powers and can only fight with brute force. Zemnu charges at him again, but this time, A-Bomb grabs him and gives him a groundbreaking suplex. Due to the amount of force he used, the ground begins to split open, making Zemnu's grand plan come to fruition. While A-Bomb tries to join the other agents to stop the world from doing a split, they try to make him focus on taking down Zemnu, but the radiation in his body burns out, so he transforms back. Zemnu then recovers from the attack around the same time and tries to cause trouble, so A-Bomb uses a mini-jet to hurl him away, taking him across the galaxy and to the moon. On the moon, Zemnu expects his victory to be quick since the bomb is not back to his original size, but to his surprise, his op proves to be more formidable. Each time he tries to attack, A-Bomb uses his camo powers and his ball powers to evade him easily, while lecturing him about power and responsibility like your friendly neighbor. After a while, A-Bomb manages to defeat the Titan by knocking him further into space. Meanwhile on Earth, the crack on the Earth's surface worsens, so Hulk and the rest improvise by trying to use a nearby suspension bridge to close up the crack. While their efforts are futile, A-Bomb then arrives from space, using his momentum to knock off ice into the rift. Hulk then uses the advantage to close up the crack. Later, at their hideout, while the agents face off in a Mortal Kombat video game tournament, Zemnu arrives again. Rather than causing a fight this time, he hands over his championship belt to A-Bomb, relinquishing his title as the champion of the galaxy. While he attempts to take his leave, A-Bomb invites him in to join in on their tournament, and the former intergalactic champion ends up taking a liking to earthly games. At the hideout, the agents of SMASH try to ignore the fact that they're still wanted fugitives as they enjoy a moment. One evening, while they roast hot dogs outside by a flame, Red Hulk and She-Hulk get into a scuffle, arguing about who's more majestic and has more aura. A bomb steps in, pointing out that not only is Red Hulk chopped, he is too hot-tempered to be considered nonchalant, causing him to get upset and start throwing hands. Hulk, who had just been peacefully trying to roast his hot dogs the whole time, then gets forced to intervene and stop the fight. Similarly, She-Hulk points out that his stubbornness is his own flaw, and the rest of the team agrees. Shortly after, while A-Bomb casually decides to go through his shield scanner, he discovers an urgent distress call Nick Fury makes about the shield tri-carrier being under attack. To the team's surprise, the attackers appear to be exact replicas of them. Realizing that whoever is responsible for the attack is most likely trying to take advantage of the fact that they're now wanted criminals, the team decides to head over to the SHIELD tri-carrier, although they suspect that it could be a trap. When they get there, they get automatically attacked by the ship's defense system, but due to She-Hulk's sharp piloting skills, they manage to get on board. As soon as they arrive, they meet Nick in a delicate state and try to help him, but he passes out shortly after accusing them of being evil monsters. She-Hulk then tends to his injuries while the others inspect the damage caused. After stabilizing Nick, Red Hulk uses his security pass to access the security cameras for the recent events on the ship. Through the holographic depictions, the team realizes that Abomination had turned in android versions of them to Nick for the bounty on their heads. Nick had then put the fake Hulks in some glass tubes, which they eventually broke out of, leading to the ruckus. While the team discusses, the fake Hulks break in and confront them. At first, they assume that they're still part of the holograms, but when the clones start swinging like their rent is due, they realize they're real. Forced to fight, the Hulks get into a brawl, each one going up against its clone. A while into the battle, the Hulks realize that the clones not only have their physical appearance, but also possess their strengths and battle instincts. Worse still, they're intelligent enough to hold conversations, making them wonder who the mastermind behind the whole operation was. However, while each of the Hulks gets packed up like leftovers by their opponents,
And only original me! Especially not. Smash this!
fake Hulk displays a holographic depiction of Leader, who reveals that he is the one behind the attack. Leader then reveals that he had been studying all their strengths and weaknesses throughout the period when he was their prisoner, and has now programmed the clones to exploit them. Thinking fast, the Hulks try to switch ops to change the dynamics, however. The new ops end up morphing into their exact clones again. Fake She-Hulk takes advantage of a brief distraction and knocks the Hulks off the ship, but luckily, they manage to grab onto an outer segment. From where they hang, the Hulks realize that the ship is headed towards a particular mountain which serves as the control base for all of the Army's nuclear missiles. Piecing the puzzles together, they find out that Leader probably intends to nuke the base, triggering another world war and blaming it on the Hulks, so he can take over what's left in the aftermath. The Hulks eventually manage to break back into the ship and confront their doubles. This time, when they go up against the clones, they plow them easily with their teamwork. While they take down the clones, each of them dissolves into some kind of liquid metal with a bunch of portable gamma reactors which suddenly start counting down. Realizing the amount of damage each of the reactors would bring when they blow up, the Hulks determined that the best way to protect the Earth would be to make them explode outside Earth's atmosphere. As they try to load up the reactors, they eject robo-legs and suddenly start running around the ship. Another hologram of Leader appears again as he explains how he has carefully ensured that they don't win. Next, he reveals that he already got the clones to program the Tri-Carrier to crash into the nuclear bunker as a failsafe, proving that he's always ahead of everyone else. The Hulks immediately take action as they realize humanity is yet again at stake. While She-Hulk heads to pilot the Tri-Carrier, Red Hulk picks a fight with her, but eventually leaves her alone when she calls him out for being a bully. The other agents equally scatter around the building to retract the walking gamma reactors. Using his camo powers to his advantage, A-Bomb manages to safely capture one. Scar also secures another, although he ends up destroying a segment of the ship in the process. Meanwhile, Hulk chases down the remaining three, which take him on a ride, causing him to destroy expensive assets while at it. Eventually, he manages to pin them in the trunk of a car, making him wonder why he didn't just follow that approach in the first place. Trying her very best to hold the Tri-Carrier in the air for as long as possible and delay the explosion, she tells the others to hurry up as they're running out of time. Shortly after, the Hulks regroup with the gamma reactors, which are also about to detonate. They then dump them into a rocket from the Hulk containment chamber and launch them into the sky as they explode. Still left with the issue of the autopiloting Tri-Carrier, Jen loses control, so it begins to charge straight for the military base. Hulk then comes up with an idea and makes the rest of the agents grab their rocket boards for a brief exercise while Jen remains to battle with the inner problems. With their hoverboards, the Hulks use their brute strength to try to redirect the bearing of the ship, and they eventually succeed as it crash lands just before it hits the base on the mountain. In the aftermath, when She-Hulk starts to get glazed by the others, Red Hulk gets jealous and tries to pick on her as usual, but she snaps and rearranges his jawline with a punch. Suddenly, the Hulks get surrounded by a bunch of highly enhanced robot forces led by Abomination. Nick also wakes up around the same time, urging them to surrender. The Hulks try to explain the situation to Nick, but he doesn't believe them. Hulk, tired of the whole scrabble, convinces the rest of the agents to surrender, pointing out to Nick that the truth will eventually surface. While Abomination's forces take the Hulks away, Nick notices a body part of one of the clone Hulks, so he realizes that the Hulks might not really be guilty. Thank you for sticking to the end of my video. Please do me the biggest favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video.